All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
We are all set. Todd's walking in. All right, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Let me know when you're ready.
You're ready. Go.
Oh, you want me to move this chain out my face?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, what's up? I'm Yoursie Thomas, stand-up comedian, comedy store regular.
Whoop, whoop. I know, I just walked by your name.
Oh, you did? Wow, it feels great already.
Good. Have you ever had a massage?
I had a massage quite a few times, actually.
Okay. It's funny how many people haven't.
Well, I've had massage done because of being involved in car accidents.
Ooh, okay.
So you gotta go to the chiropractor.
Yes, that's where I work.
And I think most chiropractors are pretty shitty.
I will not disagree with you on that one.
I think, especially when you're involved in an accident, I think they're just pretty much there just to get the money.
And payday.
Yeah, they don't focus really on your problems. You know, like my last accident I had, I told them that the pain was mostly on my left side, on the upper part where you just touched right now.
Uh-huh.
And but they would just focus on my right side. I'm like, you're in the wrong area, you know.
Right.
And then they would get kind of annoyed when I try to tell them where I would like for them to focus on.
Uh-huh.
So I find that to be an issue with some chiropractors.
Now, how many accidents have you been in? Oh, shit.
Might love to discuss now. I've been in like maybe 3.
Oh, that's baby numbers. I've been in
What?
like 8.
8?
Uh-huh.
Man, you should have a mention up in the hills somewhere.
My best friend did not know how to drive in high school.
Oh my God! So was your best friend running into everyone?
She just, yeah, we got in a shit ton of accidents. But I will say I was the one who flipped and totaled her car. Like, I killed the car.
What?
Yeah, when I was 19, I flipped her car.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It was terrifying.
What did you do?
It.
Speeding or something?
I wasn't speeding. We were on a pitch black country road, and the asphalt was really thick.
Okay.
And there was no white line to tell you where the road ended and the dirt started.
Mm-hmm.
And my tires went off the asphalt and I couldn't get it back on because it was so thick. So I overcorrected, got the car back on the road, and then we started fishtailing. And then I got the fishtail under control, and then we went up a small hill, took out a power pole, and then finally landed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was...
Sound like some Dukes of Hazzard shit.
It was insane. Like, and then you don't think about it, but when you release your seatbelt, your ass falls head first towards the ground. Yeah.
Well, wow. So did you have back issues behind that?
No, I have neck issues more because when we were crashing, I put my left hand on the steering wheel at the top of it, so the seatbelt went right here, and I grabbed her with my right hand and pulled her down.
Oh my gosh.
Which was good because we landed on her side. It went this way and this way. Like, she had to crawl out on my side to get out.
Right.
So the seatbelt did a number. They thought I broke my neck and I had to be strapped to a stretcher. It was fun times.
I remember I was involved in like a joyride situation, and I've never driven before. And the guy who was driving, he stole a car, of course, but he goes, "Hey man, you want to drive?" I'm like, "No, because I don't know how to drive." He says, "Oh man, it's easy, man. I'll just take you to a spot where you can just get behind and just drive without hitting anybody or anything." I'm like, "Okay, well, cool." And so we get to this dirt road, but there's like homes on the side of this dirt road, right? The back of homes. So he goes, "Go ahead, man, get in the driver's seat." So I get in the driver's seat, and he goes, "Look, man, just step on the gas and floor it." I was like,
Oh fuck.
are you sure? He said, yeah, man, just step on it real fast and just hold it, you know? And that's what I did. I stepped on the gas, and man, I must have got so scared, and the car just went out of control, and I must have hit a hill or something, and just went flying through the back of somebody's backyard.
Oh shit! How old were you?
I was like maybe 13. And man, we just jumped out of the car and ran, but somehow that guy knew it was me.
Really?
Yeah. Showed up at my house, and like 2 days later, and told my grandmother, and I got in big trouble behind that. But
did you tell him that you weren't the one that stole it though?
well, there's a code to the streets. You don't snitch.
Okay.
But I think he probably snitched on me, the guy. How did he find me?
Yeah, yeah.
But at the time, I just didn't think about that. I just knew, I wasn't supposed to snitch on anybody.
Did you guys have to pay anything for the stolen?
I started making payment because I had a summer job. My grandmother was making me pay him.
Okay.
But I don't think I've ever got around to paying it all off. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I got into other troubles, but I was a reckless teenager.
Were you?
I was locked up a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but I think I'm happier that I went through it at a younger age, as
yes.
opposed to going through it as an adult.
Right.
But I was more of a petty criminal. Just ripping and running the streets, being a rebel, disobedient. Not listening to my parents. But it caught up to me as a juvenile. I think I got in trouble like maybe once or twice as an adult.
Okay.
Enough to go to prison.
Okay.
Hey, I didn't know that, did you?
I didn't. I honestly wouldn't. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have expected. Because I don't know, you're just a comedian. You know.
And you'd be surprised. Most of us have dark past.
Well, that I get.
But I wouldn't say it was dark. I was basically just when I moved to LA. I didn't know the area.
Right.
I just found it very difficult to find a job out here when I got here, and so I just started selling drugs.
Okay.
I got caught twice. Second time they sent me to prison. I got sentenced to 3 years, but only did 18 months.
Okay.
But after that, I just vowed to myself that I wasn't going to allow them to take any more of my life.
Good.
And I haven't been back since.
Now, when did comedy start then?
Comedy started just soon after I got out of prison. I want to say like maybe a year afterwards.
Okay.
I started in 93.
Okay.
I want to say like maybe 2 years. Yeah, because I think I got out like the later part of 90 or something. But yeah, I started doing stand up like in 93. That was the Def Jam era.
Right.
You remember Def Jam?
I do.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when Def Jam was like 93? Yeah, 94, somewhere like that?
Well, let's see. I was born 81.
Wow.
So what, 13, 14?
80s baby.
I was. Well, kind of. I don't really remember. I grew up in a very sheltered life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, all of us comics have some fucking crazy demons.
Yeah.
My parents wouldn't let me do anything because my dad thought if I did, I'd be a slut. So he was.
Fathers knows best.
I was like, I don't even. Okay. So, yeah. So I watched a lot of TV and I was very into comedy because I thought, because there's so much tragedy in life that I was always the one that would make the most inappropriate jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't allowed to talk a lot because they're like, Joy's gonna say something really bad. Like, just shut up, Joy. So yeah, like I was into all of that. I loved seeing different people and how different people would make people laugh.
Yeah. So you used to watch stand-up comedy then?
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was my thing.
You know what? When I was was younger, I remember Eddie Murphy and like the, Richard Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
And, even watching like the Carol Burnett shows and all that stuff. I mean, I love, the humor and, I knew it made me feel good. You know what I mean? But I never really had a desire to do it until like 93.
Okay.
Because I didn't know anything about stand-up. Really.
Same.
When I decided to do it, I asked a friend of mine who was a comedian. Well, this guy was actually a boyfriend of a girlfriend of mine. Wait, how do you not describe this?
I don't know.
Okay, my girlfriend had a girlfriend and her boyfriend was a comedian.
Okay.
Okay, do you remember Magnum P.I.?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, Magnum P.I. was
Tom Selleck, right? Yeah.
And then it was one of the characters on the show was the black guy. His name was TC, but his son was doing stand-up.
Okay.
And so I knew him, and I asked him, like, what was it that I needed to do to get started on stage? Because I was watching this Def Jam stuff, and I was like, man, I can do that,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking he's getting ready to give me, like, this deep philosophy, about starting stand-up, and, like, I had to probably, like, go around the world or something to get this secret information.
Right.
But he told me, just do it. I was like, what? That's it?
You're like, are you a fucking Nike salesman?
Like, that's what he said. Just do it. Just go on stage and do it. I was like, that's it? There's nothing else? And he just kept telling me that was it. Just write your material and go up and do it. And I didn't really understand that. I just thought he was just like not interested in telling me. But then as time went on, I was just like, well, maybe I should just do what he says. Just write some material, 3-minute worth of material, and perform it somewhere. And so I had a friend named Walter Jordan. God bless his soul. He passed away recently.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I and one other friend, we sat down and we all three of us came up with, 3 minutes of material. And so we set a date to go on stage, and I can't remember the date, but I knew it was like the month of September.
Mm-hmm.
And the exact date, I can't really remember that day. So I had a place set up. Those guys, I don't think they did, but I knew I was going to go through with it. And so I called the place up, talked to this guy. His name was Dre. D-Ray or Jure? What's his name? And he said, hey man, come on down, He's like, come on down, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. You just do your thing. I was like, all right, cool. Of course I told him I haven't been up before. It was my first time.
Uh-huh.
And the name of the place was called the Golden Sail in El Segundo.
Okay.
And I went down there. I was nervous. I was so nervous. But I knew I had to get through that set because I kind of psychologically hyped myself up to just get through my material.
Right.
And so, and keep in mind that this is a room full of black folks, okay?
Okay, which is honestly, I performed in a couple black rooms, and that's the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah, but it was intense for me because after watching Def Jam and seeing them boo comics,
yes,
I knew that was a possibility. So, but I was still there, subconsciously in the back of my head, telling myself, no matter what happens, to get through my set.
There you go.
And I get on stage, the guy called me up. I'm waiting in the wings. He called me up. And I go up on stage, and I'm like literally shitting bricks at this point. I'm so terrified, man. But I get up there, and I focused on my material. I started doing my material, no laughter. It was like, I just got to get through this, And then, like, midway through my set, I hear, boo.
Oh, shit. Oh shit.
One boo. And then right after that was like a ripple effect. Crazy. It magnified like, it just seemed like it was 1,000 people in there booing me when it was really like only like 20 to 30 people.
Right.
But man, that's all I kept hearing was that boo. It's just, I was like, nah, I can't go out like this. So in the back of my mind again, I'm hearing this voice saying, hey, just get them to be quiet. Get them to be quiet. And I was like, hey, can y'all just give me another chance? Let me just say one more thing. Can y'all just keep it down? Just one. And they started calming down, right? I was amazed by that because I got them to be quiet.
Right.
But I didn't have anything after that. I was like, oh, what the hell am I going to do after this? But after they were quiet, I was like, fuck you. And I walked off the stage. But you know what? That didn't stop me. That ever since then, I never looked back.
Good for you.
Yeah.
No, I get it though, because when I started, I didn't know either. My husband Googled open mics, and we did $5, 5 minutes at the Ha Ha. And then I didn't do it again for 2 years because I didn't know open mics. I didn't know any of that. Yeah. And then finally, like, people are like, no, you got to do an open mic. And then somebody got me into a class. And that's how I was like, oh, like, this is how you do it.
What class did you take?
I took Tom Clark's class.
Okay. I haven't heard of Tom.
So I massaged Derek Mears, who is, he was Jason in the last Friday the 13th, and now he's Swamp Thing. Okay. And I go over to his house, and we just crack up and have so much fun. And he was like, Joy, you're really funny. You should do stand-up. Right. And I was like, I tried it once, like 2 years ago. Right. And he's like, I'm going to get you hooked up with my friend Tom. And the next day he called me, and he's like, hey, you're in his class. And I was like, oh, wow, shit, nice. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that's kind of how it started. But you don't know any of this. And also, like, I'm a mom, so I go home. I don't drink and party and stay out with all these little tiny kids who, right. You know, and I also have a job and responsibilities, so I'd have to leave. And so you see all these other kids getting booked, and you're like, fuck. Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, we stayed and drank with them all night. And I'm like, well, shit, I can't do that. Yeah, you gotta be nocturnal. Yes. To stand up, I think. Which, I mean, I can, but also. I mean, in the beginning, you know. Yeah. And I mean, I get it. I feel that my journey is going to take a little longer than other people because it's going to take me longer to pay my dues. I mean, but when you say your journey, what is that though? It's like. Well. Are you in, like, trying to achieve a goal or? I mean, I would like to not be considered an open micer. I see. I mean, this place is my favorite place in the world, and to have my name up on the wall would be the biggest accomplishment. I mean, besides keeping my fucking kids alive. Yeah. Well, but hopefully they don't run out of space. No shit. There's so many good talent now. Yeah. God. Yeah. But I mean, just to, I don't know, and I'm having fun doing it. So. Like, well, I do believe in, you know, if you speak it into existence, it'll happen. Yes, I'm big into that now. Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely gotta just believe it, cause that's, you know, how I got into the Comedy Store. I was recommended by a friend of mine named Freddie Soto. Oh, I love Freddie. Yeah, and Freddie vouched for me, for Mitzi. I did a showcase for her. Didn't get past the first time, you know, but once you get a showcase, you know, she'll keep bringing you back. You don't have to get referred by anyone else, you know. Right. So one night, when she was doing her showcases, or she was about to do her showcases, I was standing in the back by the back door where the lot guy and the back door guy was, you know. And so I'm talking to these, I can't remember who they were, but I'm talking to them and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and ask Mitzi if I can showcase for her tonight. Fuck yeah. Yeah, but these guys was like, no.
Don't do that. She doesn't like it when people come up to her during her showcases. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to that. And I went in the room when she was sitting in her chair, right by the door there.
Yeah.
And I kneeled down into her right ear and I said, hey, Mitzi. I said, if you have a fallout tonight, can I showcase for you? And she turned and looked at me and she said, yes.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, man, you just don't know the feeling I got by that.
I can't imagine.
Man, it was awesome. And I went out with a huge smile on my face and I told those guys, I said, she's going to showcase me. And sure enough, just after I said that, the cover group guy came out and said, Mitzi wants you to go up.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, man, that was the best feeling in my whole career, you know? Even to this day, you know? And I went up and I showcased and I did great and she passed me.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is one thing that makes me sad is Mitzi will never get to see me. Like I'll never know if I was good enough for her, and that sucks because she's kind of my hero.
Yeah, she's a big hero of mine as well, and that's why I still come to the Comedy Store to this day because you know I really appreciate her giving me that opportunity. You know,
right?
And it's she was starting to develop me as well. You know, but for some reason, man, it was like it's when Tommy came. Oh gosh. Was you here when he was here?
I was not, but I know of him. I'm ridiculous when it comes to the history of this place.
Yeah, Tommy just brought pure darkness. I thought I brought darkness. No, just but you know, when he came, it seems like he had an agenda to like just move people out.
Okay.
You know, and make this place, you know, his own place or some sort. I guess I don't know, but he wasn't booking me because he became a talent coordinator, of course. But he started. I think he was, you know, telling Mitzi things about me. Like one time, I remember Brian Holzman coming and grabbing me. He was just like, "Hey, man, I talked to Mitzi and she said something." That somebody said something really bad about you or something like that. And I was like, well, I don't know why. You know what I mean? Because I always have crazy respect for this place. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize, you know, the integrity of this club. You know?
Right.
But and I had a feeling it was Tommy. Tommy just putting stuff into her head, you know, about me and probably other comics as well. But I just knew he had something against me for what reason I don't know. But so he just stopped booking me altogether. And but I told him one night, I said, hey man, I know you're behind me not performing here. I know, and I swear if I find out that you had something to do with it, he goes, what or what? What are you gonna do? I was like, I ain't wanna do anything, but I better not find out you had something to do with it. And I remember saying something to him too, man. I was like, you know what? I'm going to be here longer than you, so I'm not even going to worry. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
I didn't know it was going to take 8 years. God damn. Lord have mercy.
Yep, the gatekeepers change.
You know, when I found out that he was gone, the day I walked in and somebody was like, Tommy got fired. I must have let out this yell. Oh my God, it must have been locked up inside of me, man, for so long. But I
8 years.
It was like somebody just opened the door, and I just like, yeah. It was a sense of relief.
Right.
But after he left, man, this place has really, really, really come alive.
Isn't it crazy?
It is. I love seeing it though.
I do too.
I really do.
I mean, except when I'm signing up for potluck and there's 200 other fucking people.
Oh gosh, I can imagine. You know what? We didn't have to go through that.
Yeah.
There was a lot less people, man.
So many. And then during January, February, kind of maybe March, you get all these people who are like, I'm going to try stand up for my New Year's resolution. Because I can tell you January and February, I don't recognize half the people, and I'm here all of the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I used to say everybody named Mama was doing stand up, and now it's everybody named Mama and their grandmama.
Yes.
And their nieces and nephews.
Now open mics are just, oh. I mean, but
Are
I do.
you serious? 200 people are here?
There's a, yeah. Same with Kill Tony. Everybody signs up for Kill Tony, and the amount of names in that bucket is ridiculous.
Well, how many people are they putting up on open mic?
On potluck, it's 16.
16, okay. Yeah, it used to be 15. Well, they added one more?
Yes, and always the number one spot is the weird name. It's always just this odd, like Doodly Dan, and you're like, what the fuck? The first time I got up, I was second. I was like, okay, I could see Joy being a weird name. Cool, I'll take it.
Like, do you see any type of politics going on with the open mic list? Like, do you see the same comics getting up all the time?
Well, it was happening. A lot of the same comics were getting up, and then Adam kind of put a kibosh on that.
I see.
And now it's very different. But it was for like 3 or 4 months. You're like, oh my god, that dude again?
Wow.
And I mean, I get it when like Adam's like, that guy's funny. I want to, before he puts him in development. But yeah, there were some people you're like, dude, this guy's not gonna go anywhere.
Wow, I used to be able to get up every week here in open mic.
I couldn't tell.
No problem.
And, well, I mean, I work in the kitchen, so I'm not really friends and family. But sometimes the door guys will throw me up for friends and family, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm like, I got chicken tenders, pretzel, french fries.
You know, the Laugh Factory, we used to go and do open mic down there. We would go sign up on Tuesdays.
Yep.
I think they would open the door at, I want to say 6 o'clock they would open the door to take the names.
Yep.
But it was the first 15 people.
Yep.
And I used to always be first. And people would get upset with me. They would be so mad at me because I didn't have a job, I was just go hang out at the store. But we could get there like at 5:30. You know what I mean?
Now you have to get there at like 2.
Exactly. But I remember when that started happening.
Yep.
Because people would try to get there before me, so they would get there at like 4 o'clock. And I was like, hey man, what time you get here? They were like, I got here at 4 o'clock. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get here tomorrow at 3:59.
No, I haven't done the Laugh Factory open mic because on Tuesdays my last massage is at 2, and I live like 40 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
So one of these days I'm gonna have to cancel some massages and fucking get up.
You know, they used to camp out overnight over there.
They camp out till at like 2, yeah. Yeah. And I need to do the improv too. I haven't done the improv, and I've heard Rita is there a lot now, so.
Yeah, Rita's, we all old school, man. Rita's been there for quite some time. I used to have my son do stand-up, actually.
Oh, yeah? My 9-year-old wants to do stand-up so bad.
That's exactly when I started my son at 9.
Yep, I took him to open mics during summer vacation. And the first one I took him to, this open micer named Nick Country gets on and starts talking about having a pussy tree. And his neighbors are picking pussy, and the neighbors' wives are getting mad because he's giving them pussy. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. And he was 8 then. He looked at me and he goes, Mom. I was like, oh God, what are you going to say? And he's like, this guy isn't stable. And I was like, nope, no, he's not. But, yeah.
Yeah, when my son was doing stand-up, he was at the improv a lot, and Rita was there, but she was more of a, what was she doing? Was she a manager then? I think she still was a manager.
Okay.
And, so she knew my son, and she kind of groomed him too,
Right.
Stage time. And, but he kind of fell off later.
How old is he now?
Oh gosh, 33,
Okay.
34. I just found out my oldest is 35. Jeez.
You just found out.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm getting up there.
Me too. I'm 38.
Well, you know what? Those are good years, man.
It's good years, but you see these tiny young comics and you're like, fuck, what am I doing?
But you know what though? It's good, but at the same time, the economy is fucked.
Yeah. But also like getting on stage and they're talking about getting high and Lyft and Uber, and I'm like, I'm married with kids. Like, let me tell you my story. And they're all like, you're really married with kids? I'm like, yeah, and I have a real job and
Right.
all that stuff.
So, I mean, you do have, like, a point of view about your life, though, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 boys.
3 boys.
How old are your kids?
19, almost 14, fuck, and 9.
Man, the high school years.
Yeah, that's so funny. The high school just left a voicemail before you got here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. Because he starts high school in August. He's in 8th grade right now. I'm like, shit. And the oldest, he's already out of high school, so.
When I had my son, before I started him to stand up, he came from Harlem, New York. And he was pretty rough around the edges.
Uh-huh.
You know, growing up in Harlem, you kind of mature a little faster.
Right.
Than the average kid, I guess. But so I got him out here, and he was just one of them. Well, it was different because here it's kind of laid back. You know what I mean? I guess the school I put him in was like pretty much like all white kids. You know, they never encountered anyone from Harlem.
Right.
So I figured he would kind of like adjust maybe eventually, but no, he went there and he was terrorizing the kids in school.
Oh shit.
I mean, I got a call one day he peed on a student.
How old was he?
He was about 8 or 9. I haven't started him in stand-up yet at this point.
Okay,
He just
okay.
got out, so he's about 8. And so I get down to the school and, they're looking at me like I'm weird and shit. Like I'm teaching them this stuff. I'm like, please understand, my son just came from Harlem, so their behavior is a little rugged,
Right.
than these kids here. So, and then of course I asked my son, like, why would you do something like that? And my son said, well, they dared me to do it.
Oh,
and I go, well, you gotta do it. You have to do it. They dared you to do it.
You're like, all right, R. Kelly, I get your point. You're there.
But of course, like, when you're in elementary school and these kids with that peer pressure on you, you gotta do it, or else something's gonna tease you the rest of your life.
Right.
But, but then I figure I get him into stand-up and hopefully that'll, kind of change his way of thinking, which it did. He was a good kid, man. He was doing pretty well. He had like a commercial that was running.
Nice.
A national commercial. If you ever seen the Run DMC Santa Baby videos that come out every Christmas.
Yep.
He's the kid in that one.
Oh
It's
shit.
been running forever.
Yes, it has.
And what else? You know that one with
I
Snoop
do.
Dogg and all that?
I do.
Yep, he's in that one. And so he had a good agency, but he fell off. He joined a gang. It was just but at that time though, by the time he joined the gang, he was back with his mother, and I couldn't get involved because he was making it very complicated to kind of juggle his career and mine. So
Right.
I figured I'd let his mom do it, but anyway. You put him in sleep.
No, you're almost done.
That's
You're
right.
doing well.
Just relaxing. but anyway, he eventually got into some deeper trouble. He robbed a bridal store.
Oh
With
shit.
his friends. Oh, hey man, that's not how you get married.
Right. I don't know. Those fucking wedding dresses are expensive. I got married in a clearance prom dress.
Really?
Yeah. I do not. I'm okay on stage, but like planning a wedding freaked me out. So we went to Vegas, and I was like, I want to get married in red. And I went to J.C. Penney's, and there was a red prom dress on clearance, and I was like, fucking A, that's where it is.
That's different. I like that.
Super white trash. I was like, let's do it.
In a red prom dress.
Yeah.
And you got the pictures to prove it.
The pictures will never be seen.
What?
So so we just went. And so the photographer and the other lady were supposed to be our witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me what song I wanted to walk down the aisle to. And I was like, I'm not walking down the aisle to empty chairs. I'm like, can't I just stand by him? And she got so mad that when she took the picture, she angled it where the priest's head looks like he's coming out of John's shoulder. And he's like this old trolley looking priest, and it really looks like John has two heads. And I was like, well, these are never going to be shown. He was drunk off of his ass. Oh, he was so drunk.
How long you been married?
13 years in June.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Is that the longest relationship you ever had?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been a little, well, we've been together 15 years because, we have a 14-year-old, so we kind of went out of order. And, my 19-year-old is his from a previous marriage, but he's mine now, so I claim him. But I've known him my whole life.
Right.
Because his mom and my mom are best friends.
Awesome.
So it's very weird.
I've been married, 26 years, but not legally married.
Okay. Yeah, we may not legally be married.
Yeah, I don't think the institution of marriage.
Well, the witnesses also got mad at us and didn't sign the marriage license.
What?
So I didn't know this, but the drunk pastor called John at like midnight. And he's like, I gotta turn this in or you guys aren't married.
What?
Who do you want your witnesses to be? And John said his parents, and they're the same signature. It's this shaky, scrawly, trying to be sober.
Yeah.
And his mom's name is spelled wrong.
Oh my gosh.
And they were here watching our kids, so.
Oh, you forged the names?
He forged them.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, hold it, John. I'm like, I don't think we're married. He's like, I don't fucking. He's like, put this in the back of the closet and we won't talk about it. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, when I get rich and famous, I'm fucking leaving you. And he's like, okay.
Wow.
Fight this in court.
No, man. My parents were married for maybe a year or two, I guess. When I was an infant, but they got divorced. And my dad would come around, and I really appreciate my dad to this day for just hanging in there and dealing with my mother's bullshit. And,
Oh shit.
she put on child support and all that crazy stuff. But he stuck through it. He has 3 kids, me and my 2 other sisters, and I can imagine how how a living hell my mom must have made his life, because he got remarried and everything. So, but as a child, you don't really understand why your parent is not there. But I tip my hat off to him. But with that being said, me personally, I don't think I need a piece of paper to dictate who I should love.
No, I tell people, I mean, it's a joke that I say on stage, but it's true. I'm like, I married my husband for the American dream. Insurance.
That's funny.
I'm able to go do this and I massage, and John works a real big boy job, and I don't. I fuck around and I'm like, and I have insurance. So
nice.
Yeah, and plus it was really weird not having the same last name as my kids.
Yeah.
Like when you're Joy Simpson and then the kids are Barnett, it's very weird. So getting married and now all of us have the same, I kind of like having the same last name as my kids.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I'm going to stay with them. I'm around open micers, so it's not like I'd ever want to have sex with any of those guys,
Right.
so.
That's funny.
I'm like, ugh.
You're an open micer, ugh.
Yeah, I'm like, ugh.
Step your game up.
How many masturbation jokes do you have? Like, God.
Right. You know, I've been watching comics lately, and and so most comics will start off with the word I. You know, like I did this or I was like, why do comics always start off with I did this today or I feel or you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I want to just kind of like try to get away from that. I don't know if I do it, but I definitely don't want to do it.
Okay.
But I mean, at least not start off like that.
Right.
You know, if that makes any sense.
No, it does.
That's just me being observant.
No, I get it. I can't stand the kissing sound.
Oh yeah.
When it drives me insane.
Or when you hear a comic go,
Uh-huh. And then they, I'm like, stop kissing. That is one I'm very cognizant about. I'm like, don't kiss. Just.
Yeah, I've been hanging out at a couple of mics. Like, I hang out at Flashback.
Where's that at?
That's on Melrose.
Okay.
And so I get to see like these comics come through, and some are great. Some got some really good writers, man.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, for me, it's like I can see all the mistakes they make.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to encourage them. You know, sometimes, you know, you try to tell a comic something. Well, these newer comics, they think either you're heckling them or
Oh, that's
you're trying to
dumb.
sabotage their show, or I don't know.
I love it when the comedians are like, try this. I'm like, fucking A, okay.
Especially at a mic.
Yeah. Because it's a mic. Who cares?
Exactly. It's not like you're working on your mic special.
Exactly.
Your open mic
Your
special.
open mic Netflix special.
That might be a thing.
It could be. I could see that happening, actually.
You know, Netflix is running out of ideas.
Right. They just stole it. You're welcome, Netflix. All right. Is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, just holler at your boy on Instagram.
There you go.
Yoursie Thomas. Pretty simple. YOURSIETHOMAS. And I can always use a good friend or two. You know, I'm constantly trying to stay busy. You know, just I love doing stand up, and you know, it's pretty much the bread and butter right now. So I have a show coming up in Inglewood. I actually don't know the full details of this one, but this is tomorrow. When is this going to air?
This will be 3 Mondays from now.
So let's cut all that out.
All right.
I am going to be in Minneapolis March 26th,
Okay.
27th, 28th. I'm going to be doing a lot of local shows in that area. And the following week, I'm going to go to Fargo.
Fargo.
Yeah. Is that North Dakota? South Dakota?
I think it's, yeah.
Which one is it?
I think it's, I don't know.
Shit, I don't know either.
Ask me a biology question, I can tell you that.
Oh, okay, so you're good at science?
I am.
So you did all the dissecting of the animals and
I
insects and stuff?
did.
They didn't gross you out?
No.
Oh.
I did a cat.
Oh.
And they left the cat. They shave it except for its paws and its tail and its head. And I was like, fuck, can't you just shave the... No, I did it all.
Yeah,
The frogs.
The cat open.
The fetal pig.
God, I don't have the stomach for that.
In fact, not my class, North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota. My
North
class,
Dakota, right.
it wasn't my class, it was a class before.
Wow.
because when they do the fetal pig, they inject the veins and the arteries with red and blue so you can see it, right? And one of the pigs, it's bust open, so there was blood all in it. So the teacher's like, go wash it out. And they went, and I guess the faucet stream hit the pig's vocal cords and it started squealing.
Wow.
And it was dead. And like
my
the
God.
whole class ran out because they thought the pig was
Oh my gosh.
Ah, fucking community college right there.
That was community college?
That was community college.
Oh, Jesus.
In Lubbock, Texas.
I don't have the stomach for that.
Oh, it's
man.
amazing. I want to do a person. Oh.
What the hell?
I mean, dead.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what those guys do in autopsies.
Yeah. Okay, how do you feel?
I feel excellent.
Perfect.
And I appreciate this session.
No,
It's
you're
awesome.
welcome. Okay, I'm going to go tell them to turn the video off.
Okay.
Take your